of an ugly segue into a new movie, Heaven is for Real. You may remember the book. It sold huge numbers of copies. And let's have a look at the trailer now, please.
I want to believe him. But everything he talks about is impossible.
You saw heaven? What does it look like?
It's beautiful.
We all want to be supportive, but we can't have our town turned into a circus.
They don't believe me, do they?
Some people might be afraid to believe.
You know you're going to cry. Now, Randall Wallace is a director, and I mean, this is a man responsible for Braveheart, which was appallingly anti-English, but I'll forgive him. He joins us now. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Great to be with you.
Now, the story itself, I mean, the book made an enormous impression on a lot of people and sold many, many copies, but it left a lot, of course, to the imagination. When it comes to a movie, you've got to be specific. There are tangibles there. People can see things. It must have been a very difficult process.
It was a difficult process, and the audience comes wanting to see what heaven is like, and that's one of the great experiences of this movie is how do you show heaven, what do you see, and the inspiration for this to me was the phrase from the Lord's Prayer, on earth as it is in heaven, that the beauty of the natural earth gives us a glimpse of what heaven must be like.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose, I mean, there are so many people, great people like C.S. Lewis and others who've written about this. Much could be confined to the particular individual imagination of those people who eventually reach that. I believe in heaven, I believe in hell too. Some of what was written in the book, I mean, I must be candid with you, I wasn't sure how I reacted. I mean, there's one passage that describes, I think, a rainbow-coloured horse and sitting on Jesus' lap, and it seemed to me that some of this may have been just what this child had seen, rather than what he'd actually experienced when, as he claims, it was a near-death experience.
Honestly, I agree with you, and it's interesting that you quote C.S. Lewis. You bring him up. C.S. Lewis is one of those that I read all the time, and he said, everyone who gets to heaven will be surprised.
Yeah.
There won't be a notion of some people have it right. Anyone who gets there, and he often said he didn't think he would be there, but those who go will be surprised.
Right.
And that gave me a sense in making this that we have to take this as the heaven that was revealed to this child, and he saw it through the eyes of a 4-year-old. Mm-hmm. And what does that mean for us? You can discount the story altogether, or you can say, well, what do we take from this? And what does it mean to me? There's kind of a so what, whether you believe in heaven or you don't. Mm. What implication does that have in your life and the way you're going to live it? And that was something that fascinated me about making Heaven is for Real.
Yeah. Now, as you say, he was 4 years old and he was in surgery, and we don't know very much about near-death experience, but I suppose that the assumption is he saw it. He died on the when he was there in hospital and under surgery. He dies, but he comes back, so he's had a glimpse of it. That's the premise, isn't it?
Well, it is, but there's a twist to that, in that it's not the typical near-death experience, yeah. In that it's not one of an adult, and it's not actually death. He makes a point that he didn't die. His father researched it to say there was no time in the medical records when his heart stopped or his brain activity flatlined. Yeah. So what is the reason for this vision that the child recounts in such great detail? As you say, he talked about Jesus having a horse. He met relatives, and there's some conflict even between the ages of the people he meets. Some are younger than when they died, some are older. Yeah. And we ask ourselves, what are we to make of that? It's a great mystery.
It is. I'm a cynic by nature, but I am a Christian. There are some of the claims that are made, some of the things that he learns about. It's very difficult to understand how he would have known about those without some sort of esoteric knowledge. I mean, it's quite fast. On the other hand, how much is socialization? How much is hidden memory? I really don't know. Last 30 seconds we have. What do you want people to take from the movie?
That what you just said about being a cynic by nature is, I think, in the nature of all of us. And I would like the movie to open the doors of possibility through our hearts, not through our heads, to say, what do we do with this? How do we take it? Yep. What if I open my thoughts, my heart, my life to the notion that there's more to life than I can see and that I can know?
Beautifully said. Randall Wallace, lots of luck with the movie. I'm sure it's going to do extremely well. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks so much. It's great to be with you.